everyone! In this video, I'm going to be making Mommy Longlegs for the new chapter of the game Poppy Playtime. This was a really challenging build for me, especially because the only support she has are those really flimsy legs of hers. So for this video, I'm going to be using premo and sculpey polymer clay, which is an oven-baked polymer clay, which means it gets hard in the oven. And then here are the tools I'm using, some ball tools and something to cut with. So to start, I'm taking some light pink clay, which is going to be used for her face and for her arms and legs. So the first thing I'm making is her head, which I'm just shaping into an oval shape. And here I'm just taking my ball tool to create some indents for where the eyes are going to go. And then I'm taking some white clay. This is going to be used for the bottom of her eyes. And I'm just taking two little balls of this and I'm going to put them right where those indents are. Next, I'm taking some black clay to begin creating her pupils, and I just add a ball of each into the white, covering I think most of the white. And then I start taking this lime greenish color, which is going to be used on top of the black. And then I went ahead and added another small ball of black clay just to make the actual pupil of her eyes, and then I added two small balls of white clay to create some highlights. Next, I'm going to be outlining her eyes and giving her some eyelashes. So for this, I'm taking some more black clay and I'm rolling it into a super thin snake of clay, and then I'm just layering it on top of her eyes just to give her, like, I don't know, the rim of her eye, and then the same thing for the eyelashes. And then next, I'm going to be creating her smile. So for this, I'm taking some more black clay and I just rolled it out into a thin snake and then press it down a little bit more in the middle to make this almost like triangle-y look. And then I added two pieces of red clay to make her lips. I put an indent in the top. It's kind of like a heart shape almost. So next I'm going to be moving on to create her hair. And for this, I took a little bit darker of a pink color. I just added some red to the color that I already had. This is what it looks like next to that other color. So first I'm going to be covering the entire back of her head in this color, just to make it look like she has hair all over. So next we're going to be making the swirl on top of her head, and for this I'm taking the exact same color that we just used and rolling out a log of clay like this, and then I'm just curling it to create the shape that we want. It almost looks like a little snail, and then I'm going ahead and attaching that right onto her forehead, and then I'm going to blend the back of it just to make sure it's extra secure. So next we're going to be making her ponytail, and for this I'm starting out with some light blue clay for the rubber band, and I'm just putting it right in the middle of her head. And then I'm going to start to make the actual hair for the ponytail, and for this I'm taking that dark pink again and I'm just creating a bunch of squiggles out of clay. I made 3 separate ones and I actually baked these in my oven so that I could just stick them into the clay on her head already. And here's what it looked like after doing all of that. So next I'm moving on to create part of her body, and I'm actually making this figure like kind of piece by piece so that at the end I can just stick everything together so I don't have to worry about it falling apart as I'm working with it. So for this I'm making it into sort of a heart shape because that's kind of what her chest is shaped like, and then I put another layer of another heart kind of, but with the dark pink clay. This is the part of her body where her neck, arms, and abdomen will come out of, so I'm using this light blue clay that I used for the ponytail for where her neck will come out of, and then I'm making 2 indents for where her arms should be. And then for her actual neck, I'm using the same color that I used for her hair, and I'm just bending it to the shape that I think her neck should be. And now I'm just going to go ahead and set that piece aside, and I'm going to start working on her abdomen, which is the same color as her hair was. It's that darker pink, and then I'm indenting 2 of the sides just like her model has. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my blender tool and create a line that goes all the way around through those dots that we just made. I'm also going to go ahead and put that aside until later, and I'm going to start moving on to making her hands and feet. And for this, I'm taking the same exact color, which is the dark pink, and I'm just shaping it into this kind of boot shape because she's wearing almost like clown shoes. And I'm taking some of that light blue clay for the socks. And here's what it looks like after I've added some of the details, like the strap on the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and add another part on the bottom, which I'm just flattening out here. And then I'm also adding another little circle of clay onto the top to make it look like she's actually wearing the socks. And I also do this by adding some texture. And here is what both of the shoes ended up looking like after I was done. So next I'm going to be creating the hands, and for this I'm taking more of that dark pink and I'm creating this teardrop shape, which I then cut into the 5 different fingers. Here I'm blending out the fingers one by one to give them a smoother shape. Next I'm taking more of that light blue, which I'm going to put right on the end of the arm like this. Here's the other hand I made, which is going to be more on the ground, which is why it looks more flat. Now we finally get to do the fun part, which is creating her noodly arms. So for this, I'm taking the light pink clay, and I'm just rolling it into these really thin snakes of clay and bending it into the shapes that I want her arms to be. And now I'm just putting all of the pieces together, and here she is finally all put together. I did struggle with getting this piece to stay together, especially fitting all of her really long arms onto this really small stand I made her. But I think she came out pretty good other than that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. It really does help out my channel. You could also leave a comment below telling me what you'd like me to make in a future video. I definitely do read all of those and would love some suggestions. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Bye guys!